Woo! All right. And we are live. I feel like it's been so long since I last did a live stream, and it's only been like 2 days. Well, maybe 2.5 days, but welcome back, everybody. Tom here. We're playing Microsoft 2024 Career Mode today, and as you guys can see from the screen, we are absolutely broke. I started this company and then didn't play the game since then, so we're down 23,000 CR. we're absolutely broke. Our company's worth nothing. We're in the red, as they call it. So we're gonna need to work on that in this video. Plan on doing a couple of missions. Trying to get everything configured on my end, but it doesn't seem to be working how I expected it to. But we're gonna go ahead and do our first flight because we haven't done a flight yet for our company, so that's gonna be something new and exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And the only aircraft we have is the 172 right now, so we're going to be a little limited on what we can actually do. But I want to go ahead and kind of get rolling. I wonder if they fixed live weather. Did they finally fix that? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. So there's still a bug there. Alright, so my aircraft is here. And I can't really do much. Midway to 50I. What about this? What's this one? Charlie 81 to PPO Laporte. We could do that one. Alright, I need to move my aircraft to here though. How do I do that? This is all so new to me. I'm not used to being able to do this. Let's see, so if I go to my aircraft, transfer aircraft. Yeah, let's do it. Transfer 270. Got enough to do that, and then we can do this mission. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So it's VFR to low IFR, which is totally fine. Aircraft is available. We're going to accept the mission. And we got a lot on the line. I guess if you... apparently if you damage your aircraft, you're like screwed. So we can't damage our aircraft. We got to definitely take care of it. It's ours now. Client is this guy. Operator, Stream Air. Fuel and weight is all good. Ensure cargo integrity. Alright, so we can get some good CR here. 20,000 CR just to do this. And we get to retain all of that ourselves. Opposed to the company taking 98.3% of it or whatever the calculation was. I like how that was the first thing I did. I think in the very first video was calculate how much of a percentage that company takes of your commission. It was some insane number. Hopefully we'll be able to repaint the aircraft soon, because that's... I don't know, it looks like a low-budget Amazon Prime paint job. They must purposely pick this coloring just to irritate you, because it is hideous. Alright. Well, at least we got no bad weather here. It's windy, though, that's for sure. Look at that thing blowing. Alright, let's get the static port. And let's go on in. Okay. What's up, loose cannon? Yeah, too much. It's insane. We're gonna be broke. Yeah, it is like real life. I mean, I'm not even gonna be out of the red actually after doing this mission. My company is so in the hole right now from not doing anything. But we're gonna fix that tonight. Tonight's the night we turn this company around. Okay, battery on. Beautiful.
Captain, are you ready? Great.
We're ready. Let's go.
You know, just a quick reminder.
Cool. How much am I paying you? Probably not minimum wage.
Standard shipment for one of our clients based in Laporte.
Laporte.
In no time at Laporte Muni.
Laporte.
Turbulences to preserve the cargo.
All right, cool. Sounds good, loose cannon. I appreciate you stopping by. This flight I don't think is super long, thankfully. Okay, cool. Blah 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 blah. What are we cruising at today?
Is in your flight packet, which is uploaded on your map as a reference.
Awesome. Am I really flying at 1,000 or 10,000 feet? I don't think so, but we'll find out.
Charlie 81
All right, landing, kicking in some flaps here.
Taxiing to runway 27.
Or parking brake off. For whatever reason is that button. Still. Okay. Go to the runway. Oh wow, we're right. We're technically inside the hangar right now. Look at that. Oh, this thing's doing that magical left drift again. Or right drift, I mean. I don't even know what airport this is. Get the name of it. I'll pull up. Let me pull up my Navigraph charts. Kind of curious where we are. Oh god. Forgot that it does that. Okay, there we go. Now I can actually see geographically where we are. Oh, I need to clear out my old flight from the weekend. This Cessna doesn't seem to turn as bad as the one I've been using. Load that. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh, Gray's Lake? Really? I didn't even know they had an airport up here. Huh. Learn something new every day. I didn't think I'd learn that in this. How am I finding this game? It definitely has potential, but, you know, I think they definitely fell victim to the common trend of most AAA studios nowadays where they release an unfinished game and think they can just patch their way to finishing it while we play it. I mean, this game is so buggy. There's so many issues with it. I think the way that they developed career mode is really fun. I like I like the whole design and thought process behind it. So that is a definite win. I mean, there's no doubt the graphics and everything are better, but they still. And I've never used VR. I can't even imagine. I mean, just getting the camera controls set for me is something I still need to do, because you would think they would bring over the same key commands that were in 2020 into this game, but nope, they decided to switch it completely up. And that kind of annoys me. So, disappointing from a launch standpoint, promising though from a overall standpoint. I mean, that I haven't seen the real time weather work for these missions since probably the first week I was able to play the game, and it's just been broken or whatever. I don't know why. So yeah, it definitely has its problems, and I don't know what's with my rudder pedals and why this does that. I don't know if it's a I really don't know, but it's really frustrating that the plane just wants to drift everywhere. Some of the aircraft are very buggy. I know that, like, the Cessna Caravan, that thing, horribly buggy. My specs, what do I have for a processor? I don't even remember. Where did it, like, 2 or 3 years ago? Oops, driving in the grass. Let me look, hold on. My processor is an Intel i7-10700. It's like 3.8. I used to overclock it. I don't anymore for stability issues. I have I'm running, how many gigs of RAM? 32 gigs of RAM, DDR4. I got a lot of space, solid states. And then I got a NVIDIA GTX 1080 Ti, and that thing has 11 gigs of RAM. So it's a little light for this, but as long as I'm around 30 frames, that's all I care about. Sometimes I have to, in the cloudy weather or something, or like a higher scenery dense area, it starts to run a bit. Yeah, it works. I haven't had to tweak anything. Honestly, I haven't really even played with the settings much. Like, what I'll do is just knock the custom profile down to high instead of ultra high or whatever. So I haven't done any sort of tweaking. I haven't tried actually overclocking my CPU for this game yet, nor do I think I will. But I don't know. I don't have any problems from a standpoint. There was one time, I think this was just the game, but I did a mission and I had 5 frames the entire time. I thought it would correct itself because it was like once I got above a certain altitude, the frames just crashed. But I don't really know what that was from, because after I restarted the mission, everything was perfectly fine. Oh, it was the wind that was pushing me that way, but now the wind's pushing me the other way because the game is weird. Look at this. Like, what is going on? What is that? What type of crosswind is this? Holy cow. Okay, that's kind of messed up. I'm gonna hit a tree. Like, do they not realize this is my own airplane now? I can't be dealing with this type of junk. What is that? That was ridiculous. Alright, autopilot. And heading. Just get this thing under control. Maybe the crosswind is I don't know. That was really wacky. It's like pushing me. The crosswind in this doesn't make sense when you're on the ground. Oh yeah, I'm not even looking forward to that. I used to always complain about how the crosswind, the wind would affect the aircraft in Microsoft 2020. So like if the wind is coming from the right blowing left, you would think it would push the airplane to the left, but what it actually simulates is it simulates pushing the tail to the left, causing the nose of the plane to go to the right, which doesn't make sense at all. That is not how it would be in the real world. And then once you get in the air, it flips that completely the opposite direction. It's ridiculously stupid. Alright, well, it's apparently low IFR in Laporte. I don't really understand how that's a thing. Intercept that shortly. I'm gonna climb up to whatever I want, I guess. Do whatever altitude I feel fit. I guess we'll follow VFR rules, so I'll go 5,500 just to keep it real world. Yeah, it probably is simulating flat Earth. That was the most wacky thing though. Like when I took off, when I was on the runway accelerating, it kept pushing my nose to the right. Then the second I started getting in the air or rotating, it was flipping the entire plane to the left. So like your crosswind input with your ailerons doesn't even really make sense. Whatever. We're in the air. That's fine. That's all that matters. We didn't crash. Go up to 5,500. And we should pick up a tailwind. I wonder if they fixed that too. The tailwind was another thing that didn't make sense in this game. Okay, let's kick our taxi and landing lights off. Everything else is going to be okay. Feel we're looking good. We'll be feeding from both. Yeah, okay, cool. Has anybody ever seen a GPS aggressively intercept like that? It just turned me 90 degrees the other direction to intercept it. What? Okay. What is happening here? Alright, now it's kind of catching up to the autopilot. I'm gonna say, this autopilot's a little wacky. The way that it really turned aggressively to the left to intercept this was really odd. And why it doesn't want to follow the flight director at all. Must be the wind, I don't know. Maybe it's the wind's effect on the air. Whatever it is, it's very strange. But no, I think this game's gonna be pretty good once they get it squared away. I mean, the graphics are solid. Once they get some good aircraft like the PMDG in here, and then they get some better sceneries, all that, basically once they get all that stuff that was made for 2020 over to this, I think we'll be in really good shape. Honestly, I've been bad about keeping up with like developer updates too. I haven't read any of them. But I'm curious to see what they've improved on. There definitely is some turbulence up here. That is one thing they did improve in this game, was the clear air turbulence and the cloud turbulence, because it used to be non-existent. I remember they did an update and it just took like all of the lightning out of 2020. The cloud turbulence disappeared. Oh, with this specific, with the G1000 setup, you've been having issues? What type of approach are you doing? Are you doing an ILS approach or are you doing an RNAV GPS approach? I think Laporte has a... Let me see what type of approaches Laporte has, because I could try to duplicate what you're running into an issue with. APPO, let's see. APPO. Open charts. Okay, so they just have RNAV approaches. ILS. We'll fly somewhere where we can do an ILS approach. I've had the plane fly them pretty decent in my experience so far, but again, maybe they maybe they didn't update and everything's broken now for all I know. Because I haven't played this in a little bit. I think we'll cruise at 2400 RPM, should be good enough. Well, actually that's... I'll squeak out a little bit more. Can I get 25? Yeah, I think I can hit 25. RNAV approach. It's basically a GPS approach. So, here. Do this. So an RNAV approach for runway 2. So instead of an ILS approach, basically an ILS approach, right? You tune a frequency because there's the localizer and the glide slope. So it goes, an ILS approach goes off of basically radio waves, you could say, because you're tuning your nav radio to a certain frequency. An RNAV approach just goes off of your GPS with all these predetermined waypoints in there, and they have predetermined altitudes that you should be at. At bigger airports, like an RNAV approach will have multiple waypoints saying, hey, you should cross this waypoint at this altitude. Yeah, generally RNAV approaches don't have as low of minimums. So like your decision height on this one's 1098 above the, so 293 with an LPV approach. LNAV, VNAV 415. So your minimums aren't as high. And yeah, you take over a little bit earlier. If it's just a regular LNAV approach with no VNAV. VNAV is basically obviously your vertical profile. LNAV is your lateral profile. So if you only have your lateral profile, which would be like the equivalent of a localizer, you can't go as low. But if you have LNAV and vertical navigation guidance, you can actually descend a little bit lower. So yeah, the difference is it just programs all the waypoints into the program. A GPS or an RNAV approach has all the waypoints programmed in there, where an ILS approach, it doesn't depend on GPS at all. And then an LPV approach, it's kind of like a combination localizer performance with vertical guidance. Those are kind of the main key approaches that you'll see. Like obviously VOR approaches exist and all that, but they're not as, those are all non-precision approaches where it's getting you close and then you're supposed to be able to, you know, it'll get you close enough to where hopefully you can see the airport and then hand fly it the rest of the way. Which those are way more common in smaller aircraft because you're obviously not moving as fast, so you have more time to react in a shorter distance than you would in like a commercial airliner. For the sake of this one, it wants me to just do a VFR approach, but the weather is supposedly IFR here. It's 7 statute miles snow, so marginal VFR. So maybe I can do an RNAV approach. You can kind of see how that goes. Honestly, like ILS approaches are so much easier because all you're doing is tuning a frequency and you're changing your course to match the runway heading. and then you just have to change your CDI here from GPS to localizer, and then you just intercept it. Honestly, I really should just show you how to do an ILS. It's the best one you can do, because it'll take you, it should follow the glide path pretty smoothly. It's weird though that you're saying it's descending you extremely fast. Because most ILS approaches have a glide slope of like 3 degrees. Like on this chart right here, this section right here, glide path angle is 3 degrees. So it basically says, based on a 3-degree glide path angle, if you're going 90 knots, you should have a vertical speed of like 478. So that should be your descent rate, basically. You can kind of see at 140 knots, which is typically like where you'd be approaching in a 737. You always see it around 750 to 800. So you're always right in line with that glide path. Hey, what's up, Airbus guy? How you doing tonight? We're crossing Lake Michigan right now. Head on down. This is my first flight actually since I started my company, and unfortunately, because I haven't played this game for like a week and a half, I feel like I am about 22,000 CR in the hole. What the heck does CR stand for in this game? What does stand for MSFS 2024? Credits, I guess? Yeah, I guess it's just credits. That's kind of lame. I thought it would be a cooler, Yeah, I think I am on ultra low. I can't tell now because I already started the stream, but I'm pretty sure it's always on ultra low for the most interaction. Bitcoin. Oh, you're doing a flight, Keflavik to... Oh, I was just in Yeah, I was just in Keflavik. That's cool. What aircraft are you flying? $5 p.m. Oh, you did it already. Nice. How was the weather in Keflavik when I was there in Flight Sim? Well, actually, you guys don't know because I never posted those videos. But it was really, really cruddy. Yeah, it was windy when I landed, and then when I took off, it was more just horrible visibility and rain with snow. When I landed, though, it was like a 40-knot gusts. It was fun. Oh, yeah, so you came in on 1.9, I'm assuming? Would make the most sense with those types of wind. Oh yeah, that's right. You went to... Sorry, duh. Yeah, you took off on 1.9. Yeah, lucky. Is low Vienna, and then LOWI is Innsbruck? Am I getting that correct? Yeah. I haven't been there in a while. Actually, is it... hold on. So... This might be a good example, actually. Let me try to pull this up. Okay, this is cool. Alright, so they got that badass RNP approach. I don't even know which direction is the cooler direction to come in on when you're coming into Austria. Okay, so this would be a good example for you, Loose Cannon, if you're still here. So I just pulled up the chart for Innsbruck, Austria, and this is a RNP approach, which is like... It's basically an RNAV GPS style approach, but it's got specific required navigational performance, RNP. So with an approach like this, it's all these, since this is a super high terrain area, it's using all these waypoints to navigate you through this canyon, and it'll descend you on these waypoints too as you're approaching the runway, which is right there. So it's like making you do a slight S-curve. So there's required navigational performance where you have to make sure that you're within, you know, 0.3 of the required track. Now this one's a little steeper descent, 3.6. So that's something to look at. But much higher minimums. RNP, required navigational performance, you can't deviate 0.3. So this approach has all these waypoints where you should cross them at specific altitudes, all the way down to about 2.5 from the runway. It'll line you up with the runway after this turn here. So that's kind of this is a good depiction of an RMP approach. Yeah, it's crazy. And if you want to see an even crazier one, let's do this one. NZ. Here, this is my favorite. I did this one in real life. I don't know why I'm brain farting on the airport code. NZQN, Queenstown. Okay, so this one in real life was probably the coolest approach I ever did. RNP, I think it was runway 5. Let me look. Yep, it's runway 5. What the hell is this one like? Oh, that one's even more wild. Wow. Gotta go through a canyon. Okay, so this is an approach in Queenstown, New Zealand. This one's really cool. No, this one I did as a passenger in a commercial airliner. The only thing I fly is single engine land, so I wouldn't even be over here. But this one's really neat because it circles you, and then it'll descend you at the same time. You know, it'll have you cross at certain altitudes, and then it does this S turn at the end. Now the craziest thing is the departure out of here. You basically do two 360s when you leave. It's really insane. This is the one coming in from the other direction. You got to circle and bob and weave through this canyon and turn. So those are newer style approaches that let you get into way more mountainous terrain areas that, you know, traditionally you used to only be able to fly into them if it was visual conditions, if there weren't any clouds. Now you can land there with super low visibility. What do you mean by pass me? How's my night's going? Good, I have to say. It's not too bad. I was looking forward to playing this game tonight. I want to do my first like actual career mission with my own airline and just rake in all that CR for once. I just want that moment to happen so it feels good, like getting your first big commission check or something. I've been kind of trying to find some flight sim streamers. I think it'd be kind of fun to do, you know, to get to know them. Oh wow, that's really crazy. Oh, I might have seen that guy the other night. Let me see if it was him. Yeah, the other thing too is like, that's insanely fast performance because my channel sits stagnant at like 1,500 subscribers for the last 10 years. Wait, what was it again? Hold on, I want to look it up. DZ Aviation. I think I might have seen this dude on the other night. Let's see, I can't... Oh wow, 4 languages? Wow, that's crazy. Multiple languages. That's wild. I don't think this was the one I saw the other night. I saw somebody doing a United flight in like an A320. I can't remember. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not the best visual artist. I have a hard time making thumbnails, as you can tell. I'll openly admit. You should start streaming on how not to do it. That'd be funny, actually. You might have something there. Yeah, he has really nice thumbnails. I'll have to check out some of his videos. I feel like my graphics are not too bad when it comes to Microsoft 2020. That might just be my own personal opinion. I thought like the other night, a couple times flying, the sky, you know, flying through the clouds is pretty cool looking. Flying with the sunset breaking out of the clouds, going into some of that weather, had some pretty cool shots. Oh yeah, the PMDG 777. It's if you're not familiar with like jet airplanes or jet engines and how to start them, it's a little confusing, but it's actually, once you figure it out, it's super easy. Like the first thing you need to do is you need to look for the APU start button on the overhead panel and just click it over to run or start. I think it's start and then it switches to run. Your APU will start up after 30 seconds to a minute. Depends on how, I think it's a minute even in the game. It might simulate it real life. And once your APU is running, then you just switch your, you put your fuel flow valves on, which are right below your throttle quadrant. The fuel cutoff valves, I should say, or switches. And then you, yeah, I have one son and then another on the way. But then once you have your fuel cutoff switches turned on, or you can turn them on after you actually switch the engine start switch, that's really it. The key thing is, though, you gotta have the APU to generate the bleed air to turn the turbine. Yeah, it's fun. Being a parent is definitely very rewarding. And kids are, especially when they're your own, they're such a good time. Like, there's never... They have way less dull moments than they have good moments, so... Like, you can have a shitty day at work. They are expensive, that's true. You can have a crappy day at work, and you come home, and they are so excited to see you, and they're just so happy, and it can clear your crappy day up. Like, you kind of just forget about everything bad that happened. Am I picking up ice? Yeah, probably I'm going to. Not yet, but, you know what, let's climb 1,000 feet. Get out of this. Just in case. Yeah, that's actually wild to think. Yeah, because I started my channel, I started this channel back in 2010. It was like June or May of 2010. And then I actually had a channel before that that I started when YouTube first came out. That was when I was still flying a lot. But I have everything private on that channel, and it's kind of defunct right now. But yeah, that's insane though. Yeah, I remember when I was 14, actually. That was kind of when I first discovered VATSIM, 13 or 14. And I started my flight training around then in real life. Pretty cool. That is wild to think though. Holy cow, my channel is old, if not older than you. That's mind-blowing. Mr. Itchy! What's going on? I haven't seen you in a little bit, I feel like. Probably been like 2 streams, but to me that seems like a long time. Good to see you back. We are cruising across Lake Michigan. We're doing our first career mode flight where we actually have our own company, so it's a big day. It's a big day on Flight Sim. I have some really old actually I should I should repost my video I took from when I first did my... I filmed... It's so bad because it's just like 2007 quality. But I filmed my first solo flight. Yeah, this is my first company flight. But I filmed my first solo flight, the 3 takeoffs and landings, with this old... It was like state-of-the-art digital camera at the time. So low of megapixels. But I filmed the whole thing. I threw it on the dashboard. I thought that would be cool. Cool piece of history for me. And I got some random videos from when I was in college and I flew. Because I thought I was cool since we flew... they were all brand new Cirrus SR-20s and SR-22s, but they basically had this exact setup, the G1000, with the standby instruments, side stick, all that junk, blah blah blah. But I have a couple of videos from when I would be bored just cruising, especially during the winter. It was so boring. The ground is just white. You're already flying over farmland anyways because it's Indiana. There's really nothing exciting. So I would just be bored. And I used to film it because certain people didn't believe that I actually flew airplanes, and then flying them by yourself was another thing. Oh yeah, the first aircraft I flew when I was in the 172s, flying at home, I was in 172s ranging from 1970s to 90s to early 2000s. So I had a lot of steam gauge flying. Like this, I didn't like this cockpit back then. You know, I liked the steam gauges. I liked gyros and all that stuff. So I enjoyed that. Non-fuel injected, having to deal with carb heat and all that crap. Priming them. This stupid primer. I still remember that thing. And it's squeaking. I think there was a guy I used to fly with in my virtual airline way back in the day who went to University of Oklahoma for aviation. I think his name was like Christopher Waldo or something. I would have to imagine that kid continued it because he was hardcore into it. That would have been like 2007, 2008 though. Yeah, it was weird. Like Purdue had just gotten that fleet of Cirrus. They used to have... It was either Piper Warriors or Archers, I don't remember. And then they got this Cirrus fleet, because the first plane I flew had like 43 hours on it, so it was pretty new. And we were getting like silly little issues, so they were having us report everything while they were still under warranty. And then they cycled that fleet out because they're back with Piper now, I noticed. Yeah, I kind of did the same thing. I came in with my private, so I tested out of their private program. And then it was weird. They had us like, first semester was, we were working on commercial, and then second semester we started commercial and instrument. It was really weird. Because I was planning on staying over the summer to get ahead, because a couple of my friends did that. And then they were CFIs their senior year, where everybody else wouldn't be a CFI until technically after they graduated. And I ended up switching my major before I got to that point. I was just like, yeah, I don't want this lifestyle. I'd rather keep it a hobby and just have my own plane and putz around in it. Or my own Vision Jet. So obsessed with the Vision Jet. I love that thing, even in real life. So obsessed. Like, Gulfstreams are cool and all that stuff. But if I want to be flying it myself, Vision Jet all day. Although, I don't know. I feel like a SR-22 GTS fully loaded would do just fine as well. And it's a little more cost effective. Instead of paying for Jet A. And the frickin' annual on that thing, oh my god, expensive. I mean, all aircraft are expensive to maintain, but it's just part of it. Okay, so we're probably gonna need to start descending now that I realize it. little busy blabbing. I think 11. Yeah, so 20. No, we gotta go higher than that. Go down to like 2,500. Vertical speed. Down. I don't know. It says there's 7 miles of visibility with snow. So we'll see how accurate that is. Wow, I made this way too big. Yeah, that's... Yeah, it's worth it. I agree. I think last time I remember we were talking about this, I think we both said we need to go do our flight reviews. I'm not current anymore. But I don't really plan on being current until my kids are older. Right now it's just... I don't know. It's not worth the... I know it's safe and all that. I feel confident when I fly that I'm not going to do anything stupid or make a bad decision that'll put my life in jeopardy, but right now I'd rather not risk it. And I'd rather I'd rather play it safe. From both a family, for the perspective of my family as well as for my business too. I don't want to mess that up. I'm at a point in where that would not be good. Well, I guess it's showing a little bit of weather on the old radar here. See how this goes. From my window heat, cabin heat on. I don't think this plane doesn't have window heat. Hey, what's up, AA flight? That for American Airlines flight? You didn't miss anything, Airbus guy. We just started our descent. It's supposed to be snowing, so we'll see how that plays out. I'm gonna pick up so much icing probably going through these clouds. Probably should I should just descend a little quicker. Welcome to the stream, AA flight. I appreciate you stopping by. You flew 2 hours with Civil Air Patrol after getting my license. I haven't flown since, just can't afford it. May never fly again, but I'm glad I did it. Yeah, I would say so. I would agree too, man. I'm like I said, even though I don't exercise anymore and I dedicated a lot of time and money that I ultimately ended up, I paid my parents back for it because I felt bad that I stopped. Because literally, I was like dead set on wanting to be a commercial pilot since I was a kid. And my parents, you know, I thanked them and I was fortunate enough that they were willing to foot the bill and pay for me to do it without having to go into the Air Force or anything else. So when I decided to switch my major, I promised them I'd pay them back for all the training. And they didn't want me, like, they tried not to get me to, which is even more nice of them, but I was like, no, I'll do it. Oh, it's for your old channel that got hacked? Oh, you reached 100 hours last week on VATSIM? Congratulations on that. I haven't looked to see how many hours I have on VATSIM in a while. I should check that out one day. That's a big deal, though, Airbus guy. Good job there. That's fun. 100 hours of a lot of fun flying. I can imagine that. Am I a pilot in real life? Not as a career. I mean, the highest rating I hold or license I hold is a private pilot license. I switched my major in college out of aviation into business. I wonder if you damage your engine by overspeeding the RPMs. Yeah, you might. You possibly could. Where's the traffic pattern? They don't even have a traffic pattern here. Hold on, where's the... I gotta look at the runway here. I don't even remember what runway it's telling me to land on. I'm gonna overfly the field anyways. Hold on, let me check this and I'll get back to the chat. Okay, so it wants me to come in on 2-0. Alright. Well, I'll cross over and enter left traffic then. Back to the chat. You want to be a commercial pilot? It's actually about time for you to plan courses for that. Are you planning on going to college or, well, depending on in Europe, they call it university, I'm pretty sure, right? Where's this airport? Oh, it's below me. Okay, it's right there. Okay, so there's 2-0. It is snowing, so we'll break off and enter left downwind. University? They should have a... Are you going to start flying before you go to university? Or are you planning on just starting once you get to university? You can do a couple of things. I don't know why that happened. I gotta change that still, man. It switches my view whenever I do that. Oh, you live near Embry-Riddle? The one in Daytona Beach, Florida? Sorry, I'm trying to fly and read the chat and trim this aircraft out because I don't know how the autopilot was holding this thing as good as it was with the trim that I had. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, I would start getting your PPL because it's probably going to be a lot more cost effective to do it there than it is in college. I mean, like your PPL, you just need an airplane. And so, and then I would say if you can get your PPL knocked out, go into college with your PPL, they're going to have a little bit, probably better aircrafts, a little bit more modern. You're going to be exposed to more mainstream stuff. Generally, they'll probably have a feeder or relationships with some sort of airline, so your chance of getting hired or becoming an instructor, you know, there's a lot of networking that can be done by doing it through college, and they'll have a full course curriculum laid out for you, and you'll get a pretty good education. Because sometimes with these flight schools, you know, you don't really know what you're going to get at some of the higher levels, like your commercial. I mean, instrument, again, you should be fine, but it could be the difference of learning instrument on something like this or on steam gauges, as we all like to jokingly call them. Oh yeah, UPS drivers, by the way, I missed that. UPS drivers make a lot. It is insane, especially the guys that do the semis. That's a good backup plan, honestly. Especially if you like to travel. Yeah, if you're going for the degree, you are going to need the credits. Like, the courses I had to take, you still have to do your gen eds. And then some of the courses you have to take for credits are so stupid. Like, I was in Calc 3 for aviation. And then, you know, you're sitting there having to take chemistry or biology, Bio 2 and Chem 2. It's like, what do I need this for? I want to be a pilot. I want to fly airplanes. Hey, appreciate the sub, AA Flight. What are you talking about, Max? Oh, I did pick up some speed there. Oh well. Not like the wings are gonna fall off. Picking up icing too, so that's fun. I'm just not paying attention to what I'm doing in this game right now. It's kind of funny. But I'm going so slow. Most places do have flight schools. I mean, you don't need much to have a flight school. This little airport by me has a dinky little flight school with a couple of older aircraft. I mean, I used to think old aircraft were something to be afraid of, but it's not really true. Airframes, as long as they're maintained and stuff, they're good for... How am I still going so fast? It keeps yelling at me. I guess it's the wind. I love how bouncy these things are. Oh, we're gonna run off the runway. Wow. Look at this. This is ridiculous. That's what happens when you apply the lightest amount of brakes. This game's physics are ridiculous. That was so funny. Why would it land me on this? Okay, hold on. This is why I hate this game. Let's look at the windsock, for example, way out here. This is like a direct, super, probably a 20 knot crosswind based on how the frickin' white is almost lifted up the second ring there. So then let's do this. Let's look at the weather. 290 at 14, gusting 18. So yeah, we were close. 20 knot crosswind. All right. Let's look at our Airport diagram. How about that? There is no airport diagram. It's such a dinky. Oh wait, I'm at the wrong airport. Hold on. I'm still at Queenstown. KPPO. Okay, this is a gripe I have with this game and why it's not anything close to realistic. Okay. 290. I would rather land on 32. I don't give a crap. I don't like to swear because my kid's repeating everything I say. Look at this. Why would it have me land on 20? I get it's a 5,000 foot runway. I'm a Cessna. I don't need that much space. Put me on 32, game. You should know this. Why are you setting me up for failure? You're putting such a big crosswind on me. I could have had frickin' 30 degrees difference. I would have had a frickin' direct headwind almost. So stupid. You had the pitot tube freeze? Oh, don't worry, Airbus guy. Half the time I can't type and spell. I'm sloppy on there. You had the pitot tube freeze on an airplane and could not find the pitot heat. Oh yeah, that'll cause a fun time with your airspeed indicator. Yeah, it was the wind, man. This crosswind's insane. The crosswind physics in this game are jacked up. It's completely opposite when you're on the air from them when you're on the ground. Yeah, you came in at the perfect time, VG Master. Sorry, I'm gonna taxi to the ramp. That was so stupid. You know what? And then it wants me to hold short back there. Are you kidding me? Could this game be any more goofy? I'm never gonna pay attention to the I'm never going to pay attention to the runway that they default me on. And I love how differential braking does not work very well with this airplane. There we go. Gotta have the thing at like 2200 RPMs. That was a heck of a ride. And we're getting ice. So even better. That was... Dude, the turning around is... This airplane in real life turns around really nice. You would know. But in this game, it turns around like garbage. I literally, right now, I'm kidding you not, I have full right rudder in just to stay going straight. Because look at this. Okay, why is it turning me to the left when the wind is blowing from the left to the right? It should be wanting to push me to the right. But the physics in Flight Sim say, nope, the wind is pushing the tail. So if it's pushing the tail to the right, that means the nose is going to go left. But then the second you get in the air, it does the exact opposite, and it'll push the entire airplane to the right, and you tip over and crash, and then you die. It's... I don't know why they can't fix it. It's so stupid. Even if I put crosswind correction in. Oh, I've never flown on IVAO, but I know that's been around forever. Yeah, Microsoft 2024 is definitely still a little buggy. It's fun though, like the career mode thing is cool, I love it, but it's definitely very buggy. Yeah, no, we really don't. The controller shortage is real. I almost thought about doing that too. I toured Indianapolis Center when I was in college. I was actually part of the instrument ground school class, so we got to go to Indy Center and tour the facility. It was really cool. And they were like, no, you guys should ask us for flight following. We love giving flight following. I'm like, I've never heard that once. Half the time you guys denied it. The highest position I think I ever controlled on VATSIM was approach departure. I never made it up. I got my S3 rating and never got my controller rating though, or C1. Alright, let's see how bad it beats me up. I mean, it shouldn't beat me up on damaging the aircraft or anything. It's my own airplane. I can beat it up. I can abuse it. Not to mention it's painted purple. Alright, here we go. The moment of truth, everyone. Let's see how much we get. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Itchy. Oh, look at this. We literally almost ate it harder than I ever have eaten it in this game. And it wants to give me an 85% cargo integrity. with that landing and respect the condition of the aircraft. 97%. I did a wheelie on one wheel for half the runway. I can't believe I even got S. Was not expecting any of that. That's a big surprise. All right, holy cow, look at that. Damn, 70,000? We're actually profitable again. Oh, look at that. I got a reputation discount. Special mission. I'm almost eligible. Okay. That went a lot different than I thought it would. I thought we were screwed. Look at it. My airplane still has all the ice built up on it. Okay, well. Okay, now we're positive. We're out of the... We're finally back to black. That's good. Why don't you buy a Wi-Fi repeater? Like Arrow or something. Make a mesh network. It'll help your Wi-Fi immensely. Yeah, it needed a 120 ping. That's brutal. Make sure you get a good shielded cable. Because if you're running 100... I mean, I know it's not going to be a 100-foot run, actually, but... Make sure it's shielded pretty well. You don't get any interference on that. Alright, anyways, let's do another mission. That was fun. I like this. This is so much more exciting now that I make money. I can pay for my own junk. Alright, where are we going next? What are you talking about, aircraft needed? Oh, I'm... Seriously? Do I have to transport my aircraft everywhere now? Where are we going? LL22? What airport is that? Is that Downers Grove? This is... Oh yeah, Downers Grove. Shit. Not too far. Alright, well let's do that then. Or, well, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing there, so I got... How do I move my airplane? Away. Hide list, I don't care. I just want to move my airplane, man. Yeah, this game does feel unfinished. Gonna head off. If you want to consider a group flight, shared cockpit in the future, let you know. Oh yeah, Discord. You know what, maybe I should work on making a Discord server. That'd be kind of fun. That's a good way to kind of group up for a group flight. I'll take you up on that, Airbus guy. We'll do a VATSIM flight probably on a weekend. See if we can do Friday night. Telegram, that's crazy. You want me to send you a telegram? A singing telegram. You had to take your controller back to Best Buy because the throttle was messed up. Got a new one coming Friday, so grounded for a few days. Oh man. Yeah, this game definitely does feel incomplete. They got a patch Living Daylights out of it. How do I move my aircraft? Is it just stuck here forever? Do I seriously have to sit here and wait? Telegram. I don't even know what Telegram is. I have like zero social media anymore. I got rid of it all. I feel like as you get older, social media is just not interesting. Yeah, send via pigeon. We can go Harry Potter and I'll send an owl. Oh, you do? Why the heck wasn't it letting me accept the mission though? Aircraft needed. Okay, I get that. Let me do the mission. Game. Minimum transfer cost. Oh, okay. Maybe I just gotta... There we go. Duh. That's easy. 150 CR. Well, Airbus guy, I appreciate you stopping by tonight. But yeah, definitely. We'll have to do a group flight on VATSIM sometime. That'll be fun. Yeah, Chicago. You're correct. I am from Chicago. Yeah, I'll build out a channel Discord. I have Discord. I don't know the last time I signed on to it. I used to use it a lot like 2 years ago when I had a bunch of people at work that we all used to game. All right. Hey, let me see. Loose cannon, are you still here? Or did you have to bounce? I wanted to see if we could go over an ILS approach or something at some point. I could just do free mode and show you that too. And we'll do a group flight at some point, don't worry. Alright, let's get this another windy day here. Get inside. Okay, get rid of can't believe I have yet to actually take the time to update all my key bindings and stuff. I keep complaining about it. Prop.
Captain,
Propping
are
this.
you ready?
I am ready. Are you ready?
It's Clarice, your dispatcher. You know?
What's up? Hello.
Just a
Hello,
quick reminder
Clarice.
about today's job. You have manufactured goods behind you. Standard shipment for one of our clients based in Downers Grove.
Oh, you want to do
Expected
leave mid-flight?
no time at
Yeah, we
Brookline
could do
Air
that.
Park.
Or we could do a
Goods
shorty.
are designed to
I'm
withstand
all
turbulence,
up for
but
like
keep
an hour and a half, you know?
adjust accordingly.
That's
A
not
timely
even just
secure
flight
delivery will
time.
ensure that everyone is
But we
satisfied.
could do like a fly-in for
You
Friday
have
night
all
ops somewhere
pertinent
that's
information in your flight
staffed up or
packet
something
as a
like that.
reminder.
Okay, let's
Safe
see.
flying, Captain.
Safe flying captain. They end everything as if they're asking a question. Bothers me. Like the tone of voice is just not nice.
X-ray India traffic Cessna November
Okay.
87760
You know, he
is taxiing to runway tree 6.
probably gonna get more icing, so that'll be fun. You do a lot of the same routes. AA Flight, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again, and I appreciate you subscribing. It was fun chatting with you. Mr. Itchy, I appreciate you saying that. I kept thinking I couldn't hit the accept mission button, so then I'm like trying to figure out how to move my aircraft. You probably could have gotten kicked off the network for not being there. They haven't. I feel like they're not as good about bouncing people off the network anymore. That's funny. I used to sign. I signed in as G Unit once. That was my call sign. I think that was what. That was back in 2005. I saw a record of that. Hard to taxi when you're looking at a chat. I'm gonna tell you that right now, especially when it's windy. G Unit. So stupid. That was like a thing back in the day. Everybody used to say G Unit. You had to abort takeoff. I don't really. Does anybody fly with failures? Do you guys fly with failures enabled? Oh wait, there's failures enabled in this. That's right, in career mode. Damn. So I could have an engine failure. Probably let this thing warm up. Let those cylinder heads come to temp before we throttle up. Should we actually start doing a run up then? I mean, this game doesn't make you simulate a run up, so probably not necessary. At least you were open about it, right? You were upfront that you were a noob.
Kilo Oscar X-ray India traffic Cessna November 87760.
Are we cleared for
Taking off
takeoff?
runway
Yes, we
tree
are.
6 west departure.
West departure. All right, let's roll, ladies and gents. The big building with glass windows. That big tall thing out in the middle of the airport. Contact them. All right. I'm already icing up. Look at this. Or is that just leftover residual icing from the last flight? Because that would be kind of wonky. That means I got to get back up to like 6,500 to get out of that stuff. Okay, well, let's roll. Let's watch the airplane want to, you know, go in 30 different directions once I get in the air. Little crosswind correction here. Which way's the wind blowing? Okay. What? What the heck? This game is so stupid. That was awesome. You need to go to sleep. Get to bed. It's past your bedtime. That's this game, man. The wind is ridiculous. I think I might have tail struck. I don't know. We recovered. Once again, probably having me take off on the runway that I shouldn't take off on. Or do some sort of ridiculous crosswind correction that really doesn't even matter. Alright, anyways, flight level change. Let's kick on autopilot, heading, and AP. There we go. Let this thing deal with this garbage. Brookridge Park. Yeah, 2,200 feet is going to put me right in the icing. Not a good idea. Also, go to VY. Ah! There we go. And proceed direct. We'll go westbound. That was the most janky takeoff I've ever had. It was like that janky landing. I don't get what is going on with this airplane sometimes. Okay, you're going out. Just enjoy it. Alright, Airbus guy. Well, I enjoy you stopping by always, so look forward to seeing you again next time. Probably gonna, I'm not gonna be able to stream Thursday night. I got a work event all day and into the evening, so I'm not gonna be on then, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it on Wednesday night. So the next time I would most likely stream is probably Friday. Well, most likely going to be Friday. So, if you guys don't see me Wednesday, expect to see me Friday. Normal time, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So, hope to see you then, Airbus guy. And if we're doing a bad sim play, maybe you can join up. We'll figure it out, but we'll eventually do one for sure. And I'll get a Discord going at some point. Did we damage the tail? Doesn't look like it. I think we did okay. Definitely have icing building up. That's not good. Alright, we're picking up our GPS track. Get me out of this weather. Can't see, man. I'm icing up. We're gonna crash. We need a better aircraft. Something that can handle these winter weather flights. Because this isn't going to do it. We're going to end up going down for the icing. Which would be kind of embarrassing. But is what it is. Do we have any weather information for our destination airport? I don't think we do. What the heck's close to it though? And is this even real weather? That's the other thing. God only knows if this game is simulating real weather. I can never comfortably feel like I know what this is doing. Illinois 22. Plow is close. We can actually go off of Midway. We'll go off of Midway's MEDAR. Because we're not too far from there. It's only like less than 10 miles. So, airport, weather. 260 at 6, clear. Okay. Well, that's what I expect to have there then. Landing on 27, so that's perfect. Alright. Picked the right runway that time. Starting to slow up a little bit on our climb. I think our icing is really starting to build up. Oh yeah, we're getting it on there. It's not too serious yet. Look at the wheels. It almost looks like the paint is peeling off. Oh yeah, Streamlab donos. I'll have to work on super chats. I don't think I'm eligible for super chats yet though. I'd have to look. I gotta read the YouTube program rules. No wait, you should be though. I gotta look that up. I used to have Streamlabs. I use OBS now. Regular OBS. Streamlabs though, obviously, I could probably set that up too. It's got the same settings. I did OBS because of multi-streaming, but I'm gonna probably stop streaming to Twitch because nothing happens there. Maybe I'll go back to Streamlabs. You bring up a good point. I used to have that all set up. And like, you know, the notifications when somebody subscribes and all that. Yeah, we'll connect. Especially once I get a Discord server up. You guys can message me on there. I just gotta take the time to build it out. I got a really busy rest of January though, so I don't think it's gonna get done this week or next week. I got a lot of stuff happening. And I gotta travel, unfortunately. But we will get there, that's for sure. I definitely want one. Need more. Brought my water down. Drinking tea, and now I'm out of tea. Now I'm thirsty. I got nothing left. Get me out of this icing, please. Starting to get worse. Still not that bad. VG Master, are you still here? Did you bounce already? I know it gets late for you. Yeah, you probably had to roll. I know you, VG Master, sometimes has to get up early, and he's on East Coast time, so it's already 10:40 there. I'm probably gonna have to hop off after this mission though, just based on timing. It says I'm not gonna be there for an hour. My ground speed is pitiful. Look at this, 58 knots. Be better off driving. Oh, you might have some questions too? Alright. Well, whenever you want, ask away. Yeah, 2 viewers, I saw that. It is what it is. I don't mind. Trust me, I'm used to having 0 viewers. That's how it always is at the start. Have a good night. We'll see you next time, Airbus. Alright, now we can build up some speed, but I'm still kind of in icing conditions, unfortunately. Until I get out of this weather. I think I need to go up another 1,000. $63, no, that's way too slow. I need to get back to VY at least. VY is like 73, 74 knots. That's up to you. If you want to hang out, feel free. If you got to get to bed, I'd say go to bed, because the last thing you want to do is feel like garbage the next day. I can't get away with feeling like garbage anymore the next day. Unfortunately, I wish I still could, but those days are over for me. Now I got somebody else that depends on me, who's up at 7 o'clock in the morning like clockwork, even if I don't have to work. Yeah, I used to be a night owl. I used to stay up so late playing this flight sim and stuff, be up until like 1 or 2 in the morning, then I go to bed and get up again at like 7. Oh yeah. Yeah, not good when you're both. I get up early now, that's my thing. I'd rather get up early than stay up late. So I'm that weird person on the weekend. I'll be up at like 4:30 in the morning on the weekends. Voluntarily. Then I'll go to bed at like 9:30 sometimes, or I want to be in bed at 9 or 9:30 if I'm not on here. Alright, this is a little bit better now. We're out of these clouds. Should be able to break up this ice. Let the sun warm me up. Oh, you did? Yeah, that's nice. Streaming is the best way to get noticed. There's no doubt about it. People always drop in and check it out. And then even after you're done streaming and it gets posted as a video, a lot of people seem to stumble across them. They don't always have the best retention rate, but they have a decent click-through rate. $55 to go. We're looking at about 35 minutes. I can't really speed that up, unfortunately. I got this monster headwind I'm battling right now, 31 knots, so we're only doing 90 something over the ground. That part kind of sucks. 40 viewers, that's solid though. That it was either the last stream I did or the stream before. I think it was the most I had concurrent viewers at the same time. I think that one had the most I've had in a while. But yeah, that's always fun to see how other people fly in the sim. Like, I'm the type of person that typically tends to kick the autopilot on right away. Although sometimes I actually do hand fly it up to 10,000 feet. And I do like to do hand flown approaches. I should do that more often. Like a hand flown ILS approach. That'd be fun. Right now I would not want to hand fly this the whole time. We'd be all over the place. I'd be sitting here reading the chat. We'd be descending, banking hard to the left or whatever. Wouldn't work. GTA 5 online drunk stream, yeah. How many years ago was that? That was years and years ago. That was probably over 10 years ago. 11 years, wow. Yeah, I was in college when I did that. That used to be my college weekends. I'd order a pizza to my room, down it, and then I'd drink rum and cokes and play GTA all night and just get sloshed. It was pretty bad. GTA drunk live stream. There was one of those where I had a bunch of people join up. I had like, I don't even know how many viewers I had. I think I was in the 40s. Yeah, it was my old channel name back in the day when I was a big Nintendo fan. And then I switched it. That was before I really did flight sim stuff. I was all like playing video games way back when. That was like the thing to do on YouTube back then too. That was the hot topic when it came to, it was Call of Duty and people doing Let's Plays. That's what the gaming side of YouTube was. It's so different now. Everybody did commentaries and stuff. Oh, it's Tom, just not with 6 M's. Or however many M's I put in there. I think I had to keep adding M's until it said this username was not taken. And then at one point I got sick of people adding me on Xbox Live. So when I switched my name on there, because I used to add my old name all the time, and it was really annoying because the notifications would constantly pop up when you're playing. So I switched my name and put an underscore in between every M or every letter. Just because people didn't want to waste their time typing it. Just send me like a friend request or a game invite. So that worked out well. God, I can't believe that was 11 years ago. So when I did that stream, you would have been very, very young, like 3 years old. "2013, Jesus. That was so long ago. I'm having one of those moments that I'm realizing just how old I'm starting to get. Because in my head, You're telling me that you're 14. I still remember very vividly when I was 14, and it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. But then you actually count the years, and the years it was a while ago, but like thinking back to it, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Like that drunk stream doesn't seem like it was that long ago at all. Like it doesn't seem like I was in college that long ago, but realistically I've been out of college for over 10 years now. I'm 33. It does go quicker and quicker. Now that I have a kid, it goes even faster. And it goes really fast too once you get very, very invested and passionate about your job, because then your days at work start going by really quick, and it's like before you know it, a week has gone by, a work week has gone by, and it's back to the weekend, and then your weekends just zip by. It's crazy. Like time just, it's like everything's on 4 times speed now. What's my opinion on Boeing? And welcome, by the way. EM. Why can't I read? Oh, EMC Tristan Coleman. I don't know why everything's so small on this screen. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Thank you for checking it out. My opinion on Boeing. I'm a Boeing fanboy from... I love their aircraft. Now, if you're talking about them as a company and the stupid stuff they've been doing, I 100% believe that certain industries shouldn't be taken over by investors, and they shouldn't change their entire objective of how they run the business to raising their stock price, because it just results in really bad things, as we've seen. They start cutting corners. You cut these, let's face it too, like when you get bought out and you get a bunch of people in there, private equity, or you get investors in there that only care about the share price, and you're trying to please the stockholders, you start cutting your way to a profit. That's all they do. So naturally you're going to cut corners. So there's no doubt that Airbus right now has the one up on Boeing, because Boeing got exposed for cutting corners and it hurt their reputation. And their new CEO has to play some serious damage control to get their reputation back, because people, I mean, it's public opinion, man. It's tarnished now. It's brutal to fix that stuff. That's why optics are a big freaking deal when you run a company. Most people don't think about it, but optics are huge. So do I like Boeing? I love their aircraft. I love their classic planes. You know, I hate the direction that they went as a company. I love flying their aircraft in Flight Simulator. I love PMDG's variation of the Boeing aircraft. I love the cockpit layout. Obviously, I've never flown one in real life, so I can't attest to any of that. I know their systems very well. I'm just familiar with it. I'm not very familiar with Airbus's systems at all. I don't really fly them in flight sim, but I think the A350 right now is probably the coolest aircraft that's out in the commercial aviation world right now. From its physical appearance, I think their winglet design is the coolest thing in the world, and their cockpit is the most futuristic thing I've ever seen. That A350 cockpit is so cool. I'd love to learn more about it and actually take the time to start flying it in flight sim and all that. I got a couple of friends that fly Airbus in real life. I got a buddy, one of my best friends that I flew with when we were younger in middle school and stuff. We did a lot of flight training together, and then we'd build time together. He flies for Delta, and he's certified on the A330 and the A350. And he used to fly the Neo for a little bit, the 320 Neo. So he's now become an Airbus guy. And I got friends that fly the 767, 757. I got a friend that flies the 737 for American, and he flies the Max, and he hates the Max. But Airbus is, they got the market share right now, I think. You know, Boeing can fix their problems. It's just, because let's face it, like the airlines know the airline sentiment towards them is different than the public sentiment, and it's not like the public is buying their product. The public is flying on their product. So, is Boeing going to go down in flames? No. And Boeing and Airbus are always going to be flipping market share back and forth. It's not like, I don't think there's going to be a third contender. It's like Coke and Pepsi, right? Nobody's just going to come in and upheave Coke and Pepsi. UPS and FedEx. I mean, Amazon's the closest thing, but outside of that, there's nothing else. Like, the barriers to entry are too difficult, so. You flew a passenger Amsterdam to Boston on Boeing with a leaking window for 8 hours once? Huh. How the hell was it leaking? Like water coming in, or what was technically leaking? Your mom's friend, senior captain at United, and an instructor there invited me out to Denver and checked out their sim. Oh, nice. I had a neighbor growing up that was this. He held the highest seniority for United at O'Hare Airport, and he was right before he retired, he was 747 captain. He used to fly Chicago to Hong Kong, Hong Kong to Singapore, Singapore, Chicago, and back. And he did it like 6 times a year. Oh. There's a lot of noise coming from it. I mean, if it had a hole in it, you'd be depressurized 100%. But, you know, there's a lot of different stuff going on, so. You got the interior, and the interior skin is completely different from the exterior skeleton, too, of the aircraft. I guess from a design standpoint. But, yeah, that'd be annoying. It'd be nerve-wracking. Oh, nice. Kristen, you've been on the 787 and the 777. They're the only 2 long haulers. I've done all my long hauls in real life in a 767, 75, 777. I flew the 787 from Chicago to Auckland. That was long. That was 17 hours and like 48 minutes. I lived on that airplane, I feel like. Yeah, short flights. Man, the amount of... I actually did some DC-10 flights when I was a kid. That was kind of cool. A lot of MD-80, DC-9. Trying to think what else. BAE 146s when those were all around with United Express. ATRs, Dash 8s. Saab 340s, Beech 1900s. I never was on a J31. So many different regional jets. 787's a cool plane. It's comfortable. I know I remember it had its issues when it first came out, like back in '08. I remember they had that battery issue where they could just catch on fire. They had a Polish and a lot 787 sitting at O'Hare for the longest time. They had all the cabin doors open on it, and they just left it like that. Just parked on a hard stand at O'Hare is crazy. MD-80, 777, 76, 78, 320 Neo, 320, A319, 21, A380, 737, E175, E190. I miss the MD-80 too. I miss that sound. You haven't been on a 757? I love the 757, man. Those engines are so distinct. The 757 could fly over my house, and I knew it was a 757 without looking at it, just because you could hear it. And that was always cool. That plane's fast, though. I love the 75. So I've been on everything you named. I've been on except the A380. I have yet to be on an A380. I never took the Concorde. I almost got to go on the Concorde, actually. It was right before they ended it. But I've been in one when I was in Germany. There's a museum, similarly, that has the Concorde, and it has the Tupolev Tu-144 also right next to it, so you get to go in both of them. It was really cool. My grandparents flew on the Concorde a couple times, but I never got to. I almost did, though. I have a lot of cool Concorde memorabilia, like the amenities kit that they would give you in flight. I have that, which was kind of neat to hold on to. I was supposed to see it at Oshkosh too, but they canceled it because that was the year that it crashed. All right, Airbus guy, you have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. It's always fun talking with you. You had a seat with a dirty diaper? Oh God, I totally can imagine that. Speaking of like dirty diapers and kids, so I was that a-hole this year where this year was the first year, well, not this year because it's 25, but 24 was the first year my wife and I decided to actually finally take a trip again where we actually had to fly somewhere with our son, who was a little over 1 years old. And I decided, like, okay, if I'm gonna be traveling with a 1-year-old who is gonna sleep a lot but also need to be entertained, I'm like, screw this, we're flying first class. So I spent the entire year everywhere we went, I booked first class. Well, actually what I did, this is how I kind of gamed this. I would book premium economy or economy plus on United, and then I'd monitor the first class seats, and as they started dropping ticket prices as it got closer to the flight date, if there was, you know, still availability, I'd jump on first class and upgrade, and it would only cost me not much more. But I was that jerk that would have the crying kid. Although he didn't cry that much, but my favorite thing was we were flying to Arizona for Easter, and the guy in front of us had like this cough, like a cold, and he just kept going, and my son starts mocking him, and he starts making these little like, and keep in mind, he's like, what is he then, like 15 months old? So this guy, after my son does it a couple times after this dude coughs, like this is probably like the 5th time him mocking him, this guy finally turns around to look and be like, who the hell is mocking me? He looks around and he sees my son just sitting there smiling with his little silly face, and my son just looks at the guy and goes, hi. And then the dude just magically was like, okay, now it's fine. But I was that guy that had the kid in first class, and my son was notorious for taking a dump in his diaper 30 minutes before we arrived. So like during descent, he would take a dump, and my wife and I are like, damn it, we can't go change him in the bathroom. So we're putting the air vents on as much as we can, blowing the smell backwards. I was like, I'm not flying and cramped, and I'm tall, so I don't fit in airplanes very well anyways. But that's disgusting. I never left a dirty diaper on a plane. Like, I clean up after myself. I have never been on an A380. I have, well, the problem is, I'm very loyal. So I fly on United because I have a lot of miles with them, and I have a lot of, I have the, I don't even remember what level of status I have with them. So I got perks with them. So I always try to fly with them, whether it's when I'm going on my own personally or if I'm traveling business-wise. So, I mean, the best chance of me getting on an A380 would be with a code share partner, but I haven't done any long hauls lately just because I've been sticking around. You know, we haven't gone too far. I can't travel far right now because my wife's pregnant, and like the last big trip we took was before we had our son. We went to Hawaii at the tail end of COVID when we really wanted to go back to Europe, but that didn't work. Yeah, I don't fly economy anymore. I can't stand it. It's worth the money to me. Like, everybody has a different value, like perceived value, and they have different things they'll spend money on. Like, some people, you know, they'll go spend money on stupid designer stuff. I don't do that. Hey, what's up, VG Master? Welcome back. But like, I'll spend more money to fly first somewhere because it's more comfortable for me because I'm tall. I enjoy it more because you get way better flight attendants most of the time. Sometimes you don't. And you're just taken care of better, which I like. I like the level of service there. And I don't know, it's easy on, easy off. It's like hassle-free. I'll pay a little bit more for a hassle-free. That's just me. But I'll be cheap on everything else I do. I'd rather bum off my parents more. They're starting to finally open up a little bit, and now they're like chartering to go visit my sister in Arizona, but I feel like a jerk if I go bum off to them. I'm not that person. I like being independent, man. I don't want to I don't like mooching off of people, especially when you're 33 years old. I have friends that still mooch off their parents. It's pathetic. All right, EMC Tristan, I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for checking out the stream. It was fun talking with you. Definitely, if you see me on again, stop by again. Have a good night. Loose cannon, I'm with. Growing up, I always flew that. No, my job's not aviation. That was the dream when I was a kid. Then as I got older and I started realizing that lifestyle was not something I'd be interested in, especially when I have a family, I had to make that tough decision and stop pursuing that as my career. So I ultimately switched to business. Oh wow, the clouds are clearing up. Man, you guys help make the time go by on these missions. I appreciate it, because these things can be boring when you're just, especially right now when we're battling such a stiff headwind and only going 94 knots over the ground. It just takes forever. Yeah, I mean, I have an office, but I spend the least amount of time in it. I'm always moving around. I like, lately I've had to, because it's a busy time of the year. I have to put together an annual managers meeting. So I gotta put that together, which is a lot of work. Close out the year, forecast for the next year. I got some other crap that's going on that normally isn't happening right now that just happens to be this year. That kind of stinks. Plus then just the typical, like, needing to operate and, you know, what are you going to improve this year? So I spend normally very little time in my office. I'm always running around working on stuff, working with other people. I spend more time at other people's desks or in other people's office than I do my own office. Especially because mine's in the back, which is boring. I'd rather be out where there's stuff happening, so I like to move around. Office jobs kind of suck. Have a good night. I always liked the thing that drew me to aviation. I always was fascinated by airports. I loved how there's always, dude, I should, like, at some point I'm gonna move offices at some point, and I'll have windows and I'll have a little bit more room, but it's, again, then even more isolated, which sucks. So it's like, do I really want to sit in there now? But I always loved, like, growing up, airports were so cool to me because there's always so much going on. There's so much activity. And if you think about it, I think the concept that's very cool about the airport is every person that you see is going somewhere different, basically. And it's amazing that there's so many people and they're all going somewhere different for a different reason, and just knowing that people have a reason to move around and travel so often, it's just crazy to me. So I always love the airport atmosphere. And then in terms of aviation, I think the coolest thing about it is you're going somewhere different. No day's ever the same, because maybe you're flying out of the same airport to the same destination, but the weather's going to be different, you know? There's always a change. It's never the same. It never gets stagnant. Although it is interesting to see some of my friends that I went to college with that continued their path and are flying for the airlines. Like my one buddy I was talking about who flies for Delta that I used to fly with when we were younger. He's still single, so he loves it, you know? He's the guy that'll fly to Europe he does all long hauls now, obviously. So he's going to Europe and all over the place, and Asia and all this goofy stuff. He's like, I got girls over here, I got a girl over here, I got a girl here. Now he met some chick who's in Alaska. And then he's got like flight attendants. I mean, that whole pilot flight attendant thing is legit. That definitely happens. That lifestyle, he likes that. And then my other buddy that flies for American, he got married. And then he just had his first kid. And now, you know, going on a 2-day trip, he doesn't want to go anymore. So he like dreads having to go to work, which kind of sucks because he's leaving his child at home, which that sucks too. I wouldn't want to do that. That's the reason. That's like the main reason I didn't want to do it. I imagine myself it's Christmas Eve. I'm stuck in like freaking Des Moines, Iowa, in the cornfields by myself in some dumpy hotel room while my family's at home. Christmas Eve. Like growing up, that was never the case. Christmas Eve was always a big deal. So I was thinking to myself, I wouldn't want that for my kids. So, nor would I want it for myself. My friend, the one that has the son, and he hates doing the trips now, he sent me a Snapchat Christmas Eve. He's sitting in a hotel room, and his Christmas Eve was a beer and 2 bags of chips. And I'm just thinking, man, that's depressing. I would hate that. Oh yeah, that's the part I don't like about it. Everything else is really cool. I was 16 miles out. I'm gonna start descending a little bit. Go down to 3,000. Yeah, I'll go down to 2,500. Kind of fun to stay low. We get to see the terrain a little bit more. I'll be able to beat up this headwind a little bit. Midway's right there. You can kind of see it rendered a little bit. I can see the X pattern. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Loose Cannon. That my one buddy, the bachelor lifestyle, that's not gonna last. He's gonna get sick of that stuff. He's gonna want to settle down. I think he's starting to kind of get a little more serious with this flight attendant girl who lives in Alaska. Unless it's just a little fling. Maybe he'll be, you know, high intensity with it for a little bit and then he'll fall apart. I don't know. But the stories I get from that guy are pretty funny. Alright, so this is going to be basically a straight in approach because we're going to land runway 27 and we're coming in from the east going west. This will be pretty fast. I'm going to try to keep my speed as up as I can because it's already 10:10 and we'll be on the ground around 10:20. It's actually perfect timing. Normally I like to end these around 10:30 because it just... I start falling asleep so quick. I'm already starting to get tired, but thankfully you guys are keeping me engaged, which is helpful, keeping me awake too. So thanks for the chats tonight. That was a fun chat. It's cool too. It's fun sharing all this different stuff. It's interesting to see all these different aircraft people flew on, you know, where they've been. Some people just never had the opportunity to fly as kids and they didn't start flying until they got older and they flew as part of their jobs. Other people flew a ton when they were kids, you know, because they just traveled a lot. All over different places. The coolest part about this thing is obviously we all have like the aviation community thing in common. But then kind of seeing everybody comes from different walks of life. That's the cool part. I don't want to yellow line it because I know it'll probably ding me. Oh, you're overspeeding the aircraft, even though I'm not overspeeding it. Until I get to the overspeed. At one time, when I was flying in college, Loose Cannon, I had this Cirrus had a digital carbon monoxide warning indicator, where I know in a lot of the Cessnas we just had the little placard thing where it would change color. And I remember that carbon monoxide thing came on and it spooked me so much. I was like maybe 15 miles to the south. It was right after I took off. It came on. I climbed up. I didn't go that high because I wasn't going that far. But that thing came on while I was cruising. I switched on that cab, and it was freaking winter time too. So I switched on the fresh cabin air, which was freezing cold, and I freaking yellow lined the living daylights out of that plane to get back to the airport because I was so nervous something was gonna happen. And that happened like right after my one flight instructor that I had got killed in a plane crash in Wisconsin. And at first, they kind of thought it was due to carbon monoxide poisoning, but then they realized it was pilot error after that. But that was like the rumor. So I was thinking, okay, had somebody I knew just died from carbon monoxide while flying, and now I have this warning light come on. It over spooked me, and I just remember hauling back. I was doing like 160 in that thing, just pushing it as hard as I could. And they used to tell us, Oh, cruise at 70% power. You're immune to carbon monoxide? I definitely can't say I am. But yeah, that was not fun. And the reason why I got it, this is kind of stupid. Sorry, I'm yawning. The reason why I got the, oh yeah, you're an auto tech? Haha. That's funny. You and I kind of have something in common. Not exactly, but very close. But the reason why I got this monoxide warning, I don't know if you're familiar with, have you ever seen how the doors on the Cirrus aircraft open? They open kind of like how the doors on a McLaren open. They're like butterfly style doors. So they have a top latch and a bottom latch, and obviously the seal around it. So I have the passenger door shut. Before I take off, my flight instructor comes over to tell me something, opens up the passenger door, shuts it, doesn't shut it hard enough to where the bottom latch latches, but it doesn't latch all the way where it makes the seal. So, you know, flying in that plane, the exhaust, part of the exhaust, or some of the exhaust flies right over the top of the wing, right along that door, and it just slowly started seeping in. That's what triggered it. All because that guy was such a dingus flight instructor too. Dingus is like respectably, probably being too nice calling him that. But yeah, silly, stupid little things like that. Yeah, it's true. Hopefully, hopefully your shop has a good ventilation system. Not only for the sake of just when the cars are running, but when you guys are doing like direct injections, all that junk, fuel services and stuff, pour-ins and burning all that shit. Definitely can't be good to breathe that stuff. Alright, 5 miles out. I need to up the rendering distance on this. Actually, I wonder if I can do that. Hold on, I want to check that setting real quick. Like, why is this not rendering? Graphics, global rendering. Let's see, off-screen pre-cache. Just pre-caching levels for off-screen terrain. I want to do like render distance. How do I fix that? I don't know how to. Maybe increase this to high? I don't know. Let's try. Oh wait, render scaling? Improve performance, recommended blah 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 blah. I might have to up that. I don't know. I'm not sure what setting I gotta mess with. I'm not gonna waste a bunch of time here because like I said, it's late. I don't think that did anything. I mean, come on, it should load something that's 5 miles away. I'll have to look at that setting. Fly pattern entry. Yeah, straight in. Sounds good.
Lima,
Oops,
Lima,
wrong way.
22 traffic Cessna November 87760 5 miles east 2500. Ford inbound.
I think that runway's right there.
27.
Alright, let's descend down to 18 hundo. Bird speed down another 1,000. Let's stick on this heading until we get a little closer. Should be a pretty easy approach. Cut that back. I don't want to sit here and get yelled at for overspeeding or, you know, yellow lining it. Oh yeah. Isn't it crazy? You guys went from turning wrenches to becoming freaking computer programmers. Plug into the car, reprogram it. Let the programming fail 20 times. And then you get paid 3/10. It's insane how much that industry has changed. That's so weird, man. Every time I disconnect the autopilot in this game, the damn trim is just so out of line, which makes zero sense because it should be in line if you think about it. Oh wow, the airport's right there. I'm gonna have to slip this thing in. Forward slip. That was one of my favorite maneuvers. I love forward slip landings. Oh, this does a horrible job at simulating it. Okay. I will announce our final.
Lima 22 traffic.
Oh, wind is still a stiff crosswind here. This is not real world weather. It said it was wind. The wind was 6 knots. And it was a direct headwind. It was like 260 at 6. Look at how bad this loading is. The runway is not straight at all. What is going on here? Why does it look like this? I mean, this is an aero community, I get that, but what kind of runway is this? What are we dealing with here? Not even straight. Like the Section 8 aero community, I guess. I don't know. Bounce. Here it goes again, not letting me steer. Okay, now it's letting me. There we go. Alright, the crosswind correction's actually working for one. Wow. Shocking. Did it really want me to get off right there? Yes, it does. Okay. Alright, let's see how well the differential turning is here. God, this thing doesn't do anything. What are you talking about? This is not a taxiway. This game is stupid. The AI in here is horrible. But at this rate, you know, who cares how we taxi? We're just gonna taxi on the grass. F it. Yeah, probably. I mean, these things are made to go grass. That should be fine, as long as there's no divots. Might have bounced around a little bit. The wind is horrendous in this game today. It's not giving me a break at all. I wish I could do real, like, live missions again. I don't know why that doesn't work. Be nice to do stuff at night. I haven't done a night flight in this game, I feel like, yet, except for the night rating. Oh, look, see? Going off-road again. I don't know why I'm getting blown around so much on a taxiway. Oh, have to be careful up here. There's apparently a pond. I don't live very far from here, and I've actually never been to this aero community. Should drive through it one time. There's like never any homes for sale in these things. Oh, you can see it in the walk around. Probably why the ice was remaining. I just liked how even though the airplane was in my dumpy hangar that I apparently own, it still showed ice on it. Good God. Taxiing through the neighborhood right now. I don't think I'd want to live in an aero community. I've always heard that the HOA is ridiculous. Like, it's just so stupid. Going downhill here. Going into a valley. Oh, look at that. Balding my tires. 2:30 seconds just because of that now. Gonna need a new one. Turning radius is so bad. All right, there we go. Officially done. Yeah, I wonder if I tail struck. Let's see how bad they beat me up on this one because of that takeoff. Are you kidding me? What did I forget? What radio communication did I not do? That's gonna drive my S ranking down. Okay. I don't understand how this last flight was way more rough. And they didn't ding me as much. I don't know. Whatever. 63. Dang. A lot. Yeah, I went backwards. I knew that was coming. Oh well. Alright, can I buy a different airplane or anything? How do I go in there? All companies. Fleet. Oh. I forget how you get into this. Oh yeah, manage company, that's right. Why do you have to go there?
Arrived. Let's get the technician to check it out and make sure nothing got shaken up in transit. You'll want to regularly check on the condition of all your aircraft. Proper maintenance is it's up to you to decide what...
Man, I'm just gonna keep the thing as maintained as I can. Alright, can I get some more aircraft here, please? Density areas, great, cool. My big airplane, 5.5 hours until my next checkup. What else can I buy here? Expand your... For real in-game money, or for real life money, you can buy more airplanes. How much does a new plane cost in this game? Let's see. What's the going rate? I mean, even if I can get an SR-22, I can't get anything. What is this? Is this really all they give you to fly in this game? I need something with ice, you know, anti-ice or de-ice. Somewhere I can fly in the known icing conditions. I really don't want to get the 208 because that thing was so messed up and buggy. Yeah, there's literally nothing to it. Dang. We wanted the SR-22 turbo. Alright, well. We'll skip that for now. There's not many cargo. Okay. I'll have to do something else. I'll probably... Where can I get the SR-20? Sightseeing? No. No. I want to do agriculture. Charter service. Okay, there's some cool planes when I do charter service. What do I need to start this? One of two specializations. Technically could do this, I guess. Is there any point to starting two different companies? And can't I technically have my Cessna 172 flying while I'm not doing anything? If I go to manage. Oh, for each discipline, so like, okay, that makes sense. Now, if I turn crew on, does that mean this thing flies on its own while I'm not here? Making me money? Passive income? Or do I have to do something else to take advantage of that? I mean, maybe I'll leave it on and see what happens. Obviously, I'm going to get money and it's going to be used, so I'm going to have to pay more maintenance expense. But what's the point of having an airplane if it's just going to sit on the ground? It's a frozen asset. I need to maximize every opportunity right now. That's crazy. 142,000 CR. Remember when it was a big deal getting to like 30,000? Stream Air is now the most successful company in my game because it's the only one.
So
Oh no,
you
yeah,
have
let's
your
go
own
look at
business
that.
and your own aircraft to fly.
Wait, what is this?
The choice
Oh, now you're
you
gonna
can
give me
have is a
more?
You can now switch between employee and freelancer missions.
Okay, that's great. I don't care about that. What about live missions? Because it's currently late at night. None of these are live. Oh, man. Fix the game. Let's check the condition. Probably beat the heck. I don't even know how to check the condition. I have to go here and then here. And then here. Manage aircraft. Here we go. Condition not needed. It's dirty. I'll just check it up right now. Okay. Flight controls. Oh, pricey. Landing gear. There we go. There it is. Jerks. Oh, I should repaint this thing too. It's so ugly. We'll make that next time's problem. Maybe I'll try to... I mean, it's my flight controls. I should probably maintain them. Alright, Luce, you seem to know a lot about this, or you're further along. Now, this whole crew available thing, is that actually going to give me passive income? Like, is this plane going to start flying missions while I'm not actually playing this game? Or do I have to somehow get to a point where I can hire crew for it? Because obviously I'm the only employee that works for this airline right now. Okay, you're not sure on that? I'll have to research that then. And then obviously maybe we'll create down the road charter service, because I know the Diamond has anti-ice capabilities. Oh, we could do the Vision Jet then. I should start that. That would be ideal. The 20-8 is a cool aircraft, but this game is weird. I remember the autopilot was all jacked up in there last time I flew it. So we'll do that. I don't know. We'll dig into it a little more. Maybe we'll keep doing a couple of Cessna flights, but I really wish they had the real world, or the real time and real world missions on. It's kind of cool. It's actually showing where there's snow, although there should be more over Chicago because it's been pretty nasty. All right, well, I gotta end the stream, guys. I gotta get to bed. But thanks for everybody that stopped by tonight. This was a fun stream. Went by really quick. So, you know, it was a good time when it goes by fast, especially when we're sitting there doing 60-70 mile legs in a Cessna that's not even going 100 miles per hour over the ground because of a headwind, and you guys are making the time fly by. So thank you for chatting. Let's go through and see who stopped by tonight. So Luce Cannon, I appreciate you hanging around as long as you did. You were here from the start till the end, so thanks for stopping by again and chatting the entire time. Airbus guy, it was good to see you as always. Mr. Itchy, it was good to see you again. It's been a little bit. AA Flight, appreciate you stopping by for the first time and giving me an opportunity to earn the sub, and thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that very much so. Who else? Somebody else stopped by. I thought VG Master, you did stop by for a little bit. It was good to see you again as well. And then last but not least, gotta find you, EMC Tristan Coleman. Thank you for stopping by as well. It was nice chatting with you. Appreciate you clicking on the stream and checking it out. I hope to see you guys all at the next one, and I'm thinking it's going to be Friday night. I don't think I'm going to be able to do one tomorrow. I might be able to do a quick one, but yeah, looking forward to hopefully doing a VATSIM flight on Friday, and maybe I'll be able to do a career mode stream on Wednesday, but it would be a short one if that happens, because Thursday I got a early morning and a busy day, so I don't know. We'll see. It'll be kind of last minute, unannounced. Not that any of my streams are really announced, but just so you guys know, potentially Wednesday, if not, most likely Friday. 8:30 p.m. Central Time is generally when I try to get on, so keep an eye out for that. 8:30 p.m. Central Time, obviously. But yeah, Loose Cannon, have a good time walking the dog. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. And thanks again for everything. Appreciate it.